What's up guys, Orcus here, and today we have another video. Today I will be doing my 2025 Cup Series driver rankings, and this is just based off of how much I like them. This isn't based off of their skill or anything. It's just based off how much I like them and, personality and things they've done that have made me like or not like them as much. I did this for 2024, I believe. One of the first videos I did for the Cup Series NASCAR videos. So hopefully this one will be as good. Well, I don't know. It depends on how you guys like it. Also, sorry by the way that my camera might be shaking. I couldn't find anything to hold it in place and have a good angle. This is the best I can do. So don't mind the shaking and stuff, but this is what I got here. So first off, I'm going to start with least to greatest, so I'll save the greatest for last. As you can see, I have a tier that doesn't rank them. It's the part-time drivers that get no ranking. So I don't have any of these guys in any order. It's just the part-time drivers I decided not to rank. A lot of these people, like BJ McLeod 78, Austin Hill for the 33. Probably Timmy Hill will drive the 66 next year sometimes, and we know that Mike Wallace is driving that for the Daytona 500. The 44 for JJ Yeley, most likely, and will drive the Daytona 500. And then you got the 91, the Trackhouse one. And I did want to mention that we do know that Helio Castroneves is going to be driving in that car for the Daytona 500. He has to qualify to make it, so we'll see what happens. But I just wanted to mention that Helio Castroneves will be driving that car. As we know, he's an IndyCar racer. So, yeah, cool for that. But let's get to the actual rankings. First off, we got Cody Ware in the 51. Most likely will be him driving the 51 full-time. We'll just have to wait and see. But I think it'll be Cody Ware, so that's why I put him here. Cody Ware just really hasn't done anything for me to like him, I just got, as you guys know, I just became a NASCAR fan. So I don't really know much about him. I barely ever seen him drive, and he's only made part-time starts from when I've been watching him. So not that interested in him, but hopefully he'll do stuff this year. Hopefully I get to see more of him, his personality and stuff. So yeah. And then next is the 41, which will be Cole Custer for Haas Factory Team. I've watched him in Xfinity a good amount. There's just nothing appealing to me about him. So, and he hasn't really done anything that interesting in the Cup Series yet. So, yeah, that's why he's there. Ty Dillon as well just hasn't been a great driver in the Cup Series from what I've seen from him. So, and I haven't really seen much of him either. So, hopefully he does more this year. And then you got William Byron. I don't know why. There's just in this okay tier, which is like C tier. I don't hate any of these drivers, by the way. Okay tier is like C tier. Like is like B tier. Love is A tier, and then the best is like S tier. My favorites. All of these drivers in the okay tier, I don't hate. There's just something about them that doesn't make me like them. And William Byron's just one of those people. I don't know. Maybe it's just his monotone personality. I don't know. And then Ryan Blaney, a little bit before him, I just think Ryan Blaney complains way too much. It seems like he complains about being raced hard when that's literally the point of NASCAR. Like, I don't know. There's just something about him, as well as William Byron. But for Blaney, it's just like he seems to complain about everything, including, when he's being raced, even fairly sometimes. I just don't. I don't like people complaining as much, and then you guys might think, well, Martin Truex complained so much. It's a little bit, it's my list, I don't know. There's just something about him. But right after Blaney, we got Bowman, and I just don't like Bowman's personality all that much. I'm sure he's a great guy. I just don't jive with him that much. And then you got Chase Elliott. Everyone loves Chase Elliott. It's not the fans that don't make me not like him. It's Chase Elliott himself. I just don't get what's so appealing about him. Like, he's so monotone, and it just doesn't seem like he's grateful to be a NASCAR driver. And, he doesn't care to help the sport. He just it's cool that he does his own thing. You're definitely allowed to do that, but that doesn't mean that's gonna make me like you more. So that's just what I think. And then in the 35 car, got Riley Herbst, obviously another new full-time Cup Series driver. Just haven't seen enough about him, but he seems like a cool guy. For the when he was in the Xfinity Series, I liked seeing him win, so that was cool. We'll see how he is in the Cup Series. Just gotta see more of him. Maybe he'll go into the like tier after the season, but we'll just have to wait and see. Then you got Daniel Suarez again. Just nothing about him stands out to me. It's cool that he's like Mexican. He's brought that Mexican culture to the Cup Series. Obviously, got Mexico City this year. That'll be cool to see him race in, but just nothing about him stands out to me, so that's why he's here. Bubba Wallace, you know, I was on the verge of putting him in the like tier, but there's just some other things that hold him back. I remember I obviously didn't watch that season, but I'm pretty sure it was like, 2021, where he retaliated against Kyle Larson, put his life in danger by turning him into the wall, and then obviously even after that still was picking a fight with him. That kind of turned him off for me, but you gotta forgive and forget. He's cool though. He's okay. Like I said, he's in the okay tier, but on the high tier of okay tier. So that's what I think about him. Austin Dillon, just it's not that I don't like him. It's just that there's things he's done, and overall he's just been decreasing in performance. Sometimes I rate these people based on performance too, like some of these people, and Austin Dillon's just not having a good last two seasons, so that's why he's here. And then Josh Berry, just nothing stands out to me about him. He was on SHR, and you guys know I loved SHR, but Josh Berry was just the one that never stood out to me the most, and that's why he's in the okay tier. And then getting into the like tier, starting off, we got Shane Van Gisbergen. I think he's going to do really good in the Cup Series. He's going to get some wins, and I like his personality a lot, just a standout guy. Obviously won in Chicago in his Cup Series debut. That was really cool to see, and I can't wait to see what he does this year. I like him, and that's why he's in the like tier. Then you got Zane Smith, who just got to front row. I like him as well. I think he's going to do some good things with front row. I don't know how good he's going to be, but based on how Trackhouse treated him, I've gotten some sympathy for him, and I like him, so that's why he's here. John Hunter Nemechek, I was debating putting him in just okay, but I like his personality. I like what he stands for, so that's why he's here. Austin Cindric, he was in the okay tier last year, if I'm not mistaken. He moved up a good amount of points because I got to see a lot more of him, and he got that win. He was in the playoffs, and he was doing pretty decent this year, in my opinion. So it's cool to see his performance from 2024, and I think he'll do pretty good in 2025 as well. We'll just have to wait and see, but I like him because of what he did in 2024. Joey Logano, this is a little bit controversial, but I kind of like Joey Logano. A lot of people... See, there's a lot of people that hate on drivers, and in a way that kind of makes me like them because they're the villains, and I don't know, something about the NASCAR villains makes me like them, and Joey Logano's one of them. I was debating putting him in the okay tier though, but I think I like him enough to put him in the like tier. So, and then right next to him, Tyler Reddick. I like Tyler Reddick. He's a cool dude. I don't like what he did to Chris Buescher that one race, but I think he's a nice dude, and I liked him in the Netflix documentary series as well. So yeah, he can be up here. And then Ricky Stenhouse Jr. in the 47, pretty good driver. I like him. I like that win he got in Talladega, so that moved him up a little bit. So good for him. He's up here. Ty Gibbs, I like Ty Gibbs. A lot of these people I was debating putting in the okay tier, but I didn't want so many drivers in the okay tier, and I think some of these drivers have done enough to make me like them. And I like Ty Gibbs' personality, even though some people might hate it. I like him. He's like my age, so, he's cool. And then you got Kyle Busch in the number 8. I like Kyle Busch. I think everyone likes Kyle Busch at this point now. I think the love he's gotten recently is a little too overblown, but he's still a cool dude. I like him. And then in the 77, Hocevar, kind of like Ty Gibbs, he's a younger kid, my age, so I kind of connect with him in that way. So he's cool, and he's gotten a lot better this year, which I like to see. Still a little reckless, but I think he's cool, so he's up here. Ross Chastain in the 1, I think he deserves to be up here. I think really the only people that wouldn't like Chastain is Denny Hamlin fans, who I actually have right next to Chastain. And I like Denny Hamlin too, again, seen more of as a villain in the Cup Series, but he's very well spoken. I really like him, speaks his mind a lot, and I think he plays a pivotal role in the Cup Series for drivers and for NASCAR as a whole. So yeah, he's done a lot for this sport, and I appreciate that. So that's why he's here. Then right above him is Kyle Larson, who also has had a rivalry with Denny Hamlin, and pretty much the only Hendrick driver I really like. I like Kyle Larson. He's a cool dude, really good. He is a little bit reckless on the track, I'll say, which I think is why I don't love him, but I think he's a cool driver. Definitely my favorite driver from Hendrick Motorsports, and yeah, it's pretty clear why. And then in the number 4 car is Noah Gragson, and Noah Gragson really stood out this year. A lot of people liked him. Obviously made the All-Star race based on popularity votes, so that's pretty interesting. I didn't expect that, so that kind of gave me a little bit more of a reason to like him. But I think he really made a comeback this year too. 2023 was not his year at all. And then, he had some decent performances this year or last year, and I think he'll do the same this year. He might not make the playoffs, but I think he'll be a good driver. And then rounding out the like tier, in the number 7 is Justin Haley, getting that promotion to Spire from Rick Ware. I think he's going to do some good things with Spire Motorsports. Same thing with Carson Hocevar. Yeah, just a great driver. I think he will be a great driver, but we'll just have to wait and see. And then in the love tier, the A tier, I don't know why I made that sound so weird, but in the A tier, the drivers that I do really like, starting off, we got Todd Gillen. Now, Todd Gillen really impressed me this year, and I think, with McDowell leaving Front Row is one of my more favorite teams, so that's why he's up here. And I think he's going to do some good things with Front Row Motorsports, so that's why he's up here. Erik Jones, he kind of fell off a little bit. I think it's based more off of performance and the little screen time he had. Like, I never really saw much Erik Jones of last year, and that part of that's probably due to him, not performing the best. So it's unfortunate. Hopefully Legacy Motor Club improves, and if they do and when they do, hopefully Erik Jones will move up a little more, but I still really like him, even though he didn't get much screen time. And then AJ Allmendinger right after him. I really like AJ Allmendinger. I just like his personality. Yeah, he can be a little hot-headed sometimes, a little annoying maybe, but that's what I like about him, and that's why he's up this high. I'm so glad he moved full-time to the Cup Series again. Hopefully he can get a good win, maybe super speedway or road course. That'd be exciting to see. Hopefully he can do it, and if he does, I'll definitely be pretty happy. Then right next to him, Chris Buescher. You guys know, I think by now that I really like RFK. They're probably my second favorite team. So you can see all 3 RFK drivers are up here. I really like Chris Buescher. He got that win at Watkins Glen over Shane Van Gisbergen, which I really like to see. Really should have made the playoffs, but, you can reminisce on the past, or you can look to the future. And I think Chris Buescher hopefully will make the playoffs this year. And hopefully he does. But yeah, I really like him, as well as Brad Keselowski, who's right ahead of him. Really like Brad Keselowski too. So good to see him get that win after 3 years basically and make the playoffs, even though he didn't perform that well in the playoffs. There was a stretch where he was doing really good, and I was happy to see that. So hopefully he can repeat that this year. Next to him, Christopher Bell. Yeah, I really like Christopher Bell. As you guys probably know, JGR is probably my favorite team, and Christopher Bell is really high up here. I really like Christopher Bell. He's a nice kid, nice personality, and a really good driver, so that's why he's up here. Then rounding out the A tier, Ryan Preece. Something about Ryan Preece made me like him a lot more in 2024. He's the underdog. It seemed like SHR wasn't treating him really well. He was being left out, it seemed like. And maybe it's because they all knew he was going to RFK. I don't know. I don't know what the deal was, but I like Ryan Preece and his personality. I think he's going to do some good things at RFK. He seems very welcomed by them, so yeah, I'm gonna really enjoy to see him in RFK. Hopefully he can get a win. Hopefully he can perform really well. Even if he breaks top 20, I would be happy with that. So hopefully he can do good this year. Then in the S tier, my favorite drivers, clearly surpassing the others by a lot. You got Michael McDowell and Chase Briscoe. As you guys know by now, I really like Chase Briscoe and Michael McDowell. I think Briscoe is my favorite driver, but Michael McDowell has always been one of my favorite drivers ever since I started watching, with Michael McDowell winning the Daytona 500 in 2021. Him on Front Row Motorsports, I really like to see. The iconic Love's Travel Stop sponsor. His cars always look sick too. And now he's with Spire Motorsports, which I think is an interesting move, and hopefully it pays off, because I think Front Row and Spire are like around the same level. So I don't know if it's an upgrade for him, but it might be nice to have him as a mentor role for people like Justin Haley and Carson Hocevar. And to see Michael McDowell where he is now compared to where he was most of his career, it's just beautiful to see. I really like Michael McDowell, just a nice dude, good personality. And yeah, I really like him. And, he might be on his way out of the Cup Series soon. And, when that day comes, I'm going to be very sad, but also happy to see where he's gotten in his career. Just a journeyman story, great person. Nice to see where he is now. And then my favorite driver, Chase Briscoe. I think you guys all know this. Him going to JGR, just, awesome to see. You guys know Truex was my favorite driver last year, and now to see Briscoe taking his spot at JGR, I think he's going to have a lot of opportunities to be a really good driver for JGR. Hopefully he can do really well. I think he should get 1 to 3 wins, hopefully a deep run in the playoffs, maybe round of 8, possibly even championship 4. As we know, JGR equipment is really good. So hopefully he can do that. He's got a good relationship with Christopher Bell as well. So I really like Briscoe, as you guys know. Seeing his story, what he's gone through, how much of a good person he is, just a nice dude overall. Yeah, there's nothing to dislike about Briscoe besides maybe his maybe the way he drives. Maybe Kyle Busch fans wouldn't like him all that much. Maybe some others, but I like Briscoe. He's a good dude, well-intentioned, and a hard worker. Just great person. Did that again, sorry. But yeah, he's a good dude. I really like Briscoe, and I'm very excited to see what he can do in the Cup Series in 2025. I'm going to be rooting for him every race. And yeah, it's going to be an exciting season to see what people like Chase Briscoe can do in top-tier equipment. So with that being said, that's my list. Let me know if you guys agree with any of these. If you strongly disagree, I'd be interested to hear you guys' thoughts. And yeah, with that being said, I'll see you guys in the next one.